What is happening, everyone? Good. Sorry, we're a little bit rusty. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Nope, that's me. That's Doug's fault. I'm gonna fix it real quick. Sorry, everybody. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Give me a sec. Hold on. Hold on. Yes, black screen. I know. Sorry. One sec. Hold on, please.
We're
Thank you.
hiding.
We're hiding from you.
We're so tan. You can't see.
That's that. Denise is on. Oop, oop. Yeah, hold on. Let me figure out what's going on here. I think it's because I was charging the phone or the thing and didn't do it right. Weird. Hold on. Anyways, hi everybody, we're back. You'll see my pretty face shortly. Hoping. Yeah, technology. Hi, Annie. How are you? It's nice to see you. Hi, Ping. We missed you very much. So we have been back for a week. We basically got back last Sunday, and has just been going crazy. So interesting. Technology. Yeah, it's the cruise was. Look at us! Look at us! I see the red light now. Okay, here I come. I'm coming up. You can, and then you can.
Just blame it on me.
No, it wasn't Janae's. Pro Cruiser, and then I was gonna turn. Okay, what's up? It wasn't the lens cap. I don't have that fancy of a camera pin. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're easing back into this because obviously we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Excuse my French right away. Okay, so I wanted something easy, but I also wanted to. It's episode 225, which is increasingly crazy to say out loud, but also I don't know if you know this, but we are 5 weeks away, basically, from our 5-year anniversary. May 24th, 2025 is our 5-year anniversary, which is insane. This means that time is an illusion, and if you're not paying attention, it disappears on you. So we're going to be building up to that and easing back into everything. And what we're going to be doing is now you'll probably be able to hear me better. Okay. What we're going to be doing is easing into this. So we're going to do this, which is just kind of a pantry thing and a few herbs that you can get either in your garden. And I wanted ranch water because I was working outside all day, but I didn't have any limes, but I had some lemons. So now we're going to have lemon ranch water and go from there. There was an echo, but I fixed it because of my thing. So what we're doing today basically is I have white beans. These are cannelli beans. You could use great white north beans, but they're just from a can. So we're just using it from whoops, I'll turn the water on, because this is supposed to be something you could throw together. You want something that's a little hot, it's a little that. If it's still echoey, let me know.
So it's really only a few major ingredients that you need to get. You're gonna have the rest in your pantry. Olive oil, a red onion, cloves, white beans.
Did I just lose it?
I don't know.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. Okay. I also didn't have my mic on thing, so it's fine. Hey, listen, I take anything I can get. The cruise was wonderful. It was a nice 2 weeks of break. Obviously, my brain has not retrieved itself back to a normal state.
We went to Panama,
Yeah.
Aruba,
Bonaire, Cologne,
Grand Cayman.
Panama, that we didn't get off there, Cartagena, Colombia, and then again the island of Bonaire, Aruba, and Grand Cayman, and that was like the order of operations. The cruise had wonderful food, as they do. I ate way more than I should have. I believe I went on the cruise at 219 pounds, and I returned from the cruise 229 pounds. So that tells you what's happening there. It's getting warmer here in Reno, Sparks area. Today was a beautiful day of like 65 degrees. I did a bunch of yard work. The dogs chased a rabbit around. I did something gross that I have been putting off, which was, so I have a terrible habit of leaving things outside when it gets cold and then not dealing with them. And now it's hot and it became a cesspool. So I had to deal with that, and there was a dish out there that, whew. Anyways, it's now been dealt with, it's been sanitized twice, it's good to go. And it's a good pot, I didn't want to lose it, so. What else are we doing? Oh, we're gonna, like I said, lemon ranch water, and then we're going to do a little garlic bread to go with it, because it's like a little, kind of like a toast point. You could either eat it with on the side or on top, or whatever. It's just a good accompaniment for the softness of the beans, and you're going to get a crunch out of the garlic bread. So, yeah, the cruise. I mean, it was great. Again, turn your brain off for a couple of weeks. You see some cool stuff. You eat too much food, and for 2 weeks I became dumber because I did not engage my brain as much as possible. I slept more than I have in a while, which is great. We had an inside cabin, which if you've never been cruising, there's outside with like a window or a deck in some cases, or some have just a porthole that you can sort of open. We were on an inside cabin, which was just a room. There were no windows. It was, when you turn the lights off to go to bed, it was dark. So like dark. But yeah, it was, that's what we're doing. Again, the theme of this is, I had more Palomas again than I should have had. I probably drank more in 2 weeks than I do in an entire year, which is fine. I did have pina coladas and margaritas and other things too, but yeah. There was one night in particular that I just kept going. And the problem is that one of the bartenders from the ship we were on 2 years ago was also the bartender of the bar I sit at on this ship. And, well, he knows what I like. And so it would basically, I would be this much done with a drink and another one would just show up. And it's rude not to drink it. So, Amy is not here because she is at the Nevada State Education Association's leadership conference that she and our friend Andrea kind of have been putting together and put on for this weekend. They're in town, but they're at the Nugget Casino in Sparks, close to us, close-ish to us. So she is kind of hobnobbing with people. Yeah, I mean, really, that's kind of what we're doing. So let's get on to this, because it really doesn't take all that amount of time. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to turn the oven on for the bread, because we're going to cook the toast in there. And I think I need 400. What have I been doing? I haven't been, like today I did a lot. Like I was outside, which was good, and I got the greenhouse is going well. I got some lettuces up, waiting for some other stuff to pop up. I planned for it to be operational when I was gone. It was fine. It just didn't do the way I wanted it to. So
Now you know.
yeah,
You can adjust.
yeah. Well, and it's already in place. It'll be there for next year. So in January, end of January, February, literally. Amy always says I start things too early, but the problem is that here I got to start it earlier because it's gonna be ready to go out.
We
And
don't have a very long starting season.
we do not. It says and most things like tomatoes and peppers say 12 weeks before your last frost. Well, that's 3 months. And
By then it's June, and
Yeah.
that's when you should be picking.
so, you should be starting to at least. And so, yeah. Oh. I did that for a long time, like writing down my dreams and stuff because I was trying to lucid dream, which I was able to do. But it became tedious, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So, okay. I just bought a little sliced ciabatta loaf because I thought, let's have a little variety in our life for the bread. And I've got some fresh herbs for the white beans, which is parsley and some dill. Love dill. This, I think, so I was looking up, when you are buying seeds for dill, there's different types of dill. I just have the word for it. There's tetra style, which is like this, and where it's got a lot of like fronds. That's a big word for you.
Very bushy.
Yes. Where the other one gets the other type of dill, which I cannot remember the name off the top. It gets stuff like this, but then it comes up and it gets to a head, and then that head gets the flowers, and then it turns into seeds. So it's really good. But I feel is way more dilly, and it is more prolific in growth, so you get more leaf out of it. That's for that. Dijon mustard, and then I do want to put a little bit of crushed pepper, red pepper in there. It's going to give it that. And the other thing is just a splash of rice wine vinegar, which is going to brighten the whole thing up. So we'll be doing that. Geez, what else has happened in the month? Oh, we had the Nevada Esports had their big event at the beginning of March on the 8th. It seems like a million years ago now, and that was really great. 230 plus people showed up, which is great, which is like 70 more people than there were last year in the fall when we did the similar event. So that's really great.
Fallon High School gaming team.
They
I'm
did.
super proud of my hometown.
They
showing
did,
up.
yeah. And Andrea is a high school teacher, but at this conference, when there's all these state, leadership people there, she's been going around. I asked her if she would talk to other high schoolers and high school teachers and see if they're interested in starting sports clubs at their schools, because then we can start a Northern Nevada collegial pipeline from our Northern Nevada schools, which is kind of a cool thing. So it's actually giving a better and more substance to what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to do. So yeah, but it was funny because Amy I was talking to her this morning, and she was telling people, and one of the gals that she knows was saying that we're in casual conversation about a million different things, and she's single, but she was like, how's this and that, and she's like, oh, I took up gaming, and she's like, really? Yeah, and so she started playing PUBG and Fortnite, which are, as you go, if the gamers in the room know, they're first-person shooter games, and they're like, and it's funny, her name, and this is the best part of it, is that her gamer name is Sniperella. But one of the great parts about it is that, she was telling Amy that she's made a lot of really good friends doing this, and that sure, there's trash talking and stuff like that. And she's in her mid-30s, which is I love it. It just speaks to how gaming is ageless, especially, in these times where it's so accessible for so many people. But so it was just a funny thing, that I was thinking to myself. I'm like, yeah, this is what we love. This is why gamers are the best. For my Minecraft peeps, have you seen Have you seen the movie yet? I was thinking about going to see it last night, but then I just decided not to leave the house. So I've heard mixed things. There's a couple of things that I saw. One guy is like, "This is not a good movie," by. I'm like, "Shut up, shut up! It's not made for you. It's made for people who are Minecraft nerders." Counter-Strike is still pretty popular. It's I don't know if it's as popular as it once was, but it is pretty popular still. So I'm just getting red onion finely diced here shortly to get that ready. I'm just prepping a lot of stuff before we get started. And then I've got some new garlic. Garlic cloves that I planted in the garden are popping up. Some of the leftover, must have been seeds that had dropped because there's wild shoots shooting up everywhere out there, which I'm like, whatever, more garlic the better. So, let's see, what else is, that's pretty much the major points. In sad news, right before we left for our trip, I'm gonna cry. Piper got really sick, and so we had to put her down. It was sad. She was at least, they think, 2 to 4 years old when we got her, and we had her for 15 years. She was 15 years old, so she was an older dog, but she started having accidents in the house. It was really fast. So she started having accidents in the house, and then she had basically blood in her urine. Turns out it wasn't her kidneys, it was like pancreatitis and other things. She had a mass in her chest. And so we just took actually it was not before the cruise, it was before the night before my gaming event. So we just made the decision that for her comfort that we sent her over the bridge. But, you know, Amy and I both agree, and Denise agrees, you know, she was a one-of-a-kind dog.
Good girl.
So yeah, it's rough. The rough for me was Jack looking for her, and continues sort of here and there. So, you know, it is the cycle of life. But when you have a dog that has literally been your companion for 15 years and grown with you and your partner's relationship, and like been there for the death of my mother, the death of Amy's mother, all of these things is a comfort. You know, you end up.
Is there for
Yeah. I mean, just so many things.
the greyhounds?
Yeah.
Arnie.
Yeah. So it's kind of a weird to only have the 2 dogs in the house. So now it's 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 humans, 3 females and 3 males. So we're evened out where it was. I was out. Was I outnumbered? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But,
Yeah, you were outnumbered.
yeah. So, but in the end, you know, they only with us for a short amount of time, so keep them in, you know. But she had a good life, and she gave us good companionship, and we both agree, like, it's funny, we got a DNA kit, and Amy was like, maybe we should do it. And I was like, nah, there's only one. And we you know, jokingly in the past have talked about, well, we should have cloned her and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, she spent at least a year on the streets. She was street tough. So.
We'd have to throw her out on the street for a year and then go collect her.
Yeah, but, yeah, Piper was a good dog. And like I said, so, I mean, a lot, like, you know, like I was saying, a lot happened. And, hi, Deefy, welcome to the show. We're a little bit of a shit show today, so Amy's not here. It's just Denise and I tonight. But other than that, I mean, I feel like it's spring, which is my favorite season. The days here are starting to get warmer. Next week is supposed to be 78 degrees on Wednesday or Thursday, which is insane. I know, right? Anything could happen, DB. Don't tell Amy anything that happens. She's probably watching now and going, what is happening with these crazy people? But let me think. So I've got a half of a red onion. It was, you know, this size-ish, which I would call medium to small large. which doesn't make any sense, but whatever. And then I need 2 cloves. It says 1 to 2.
So do 5.
But we're doing
We'll do
2.
6.
I mean, and if I decide that I don't like the size of the 2, I'm going to do that. So
Oh no.
that's fine. You missed the earlier, DP. I had I had placed a dish outside when it was cold. Don't ask how long ago. It's not important. It is, but it isn't because the
I don't know if you guys watched The Last of Us, but
Yeah.
the people who turn into complete mushrooms glued to the wall.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the inside of this pup looked like.
It was gross. But I had to do I told Amy, she's like, you just need to throw that away. I'm like, nope, I got to do my penance and clean it and take the hit of the gross. And I did, and it's fine. It's a nice pot. It's a 12-quart pot, and I don't want to lose it. So I ended up.
I hate to lose it.
Oh no. Yes, please be safe. Whew. Good Lord. What else is going on? I mean, I don't know. The world's on fire. There were a lot. Did anybody protest today? I'm a bad citizen and did not. I just was tired. And if you saw the way we started the show, that's kind of how my brain has been all day. I was feeling. I told Denise this, but my skin was. I was just felt creepy crawlies last night, right before I went to bed. So I stripped the bed because Amy's staying at the hotel, the casino hotel. So I was by myself, and this is probably I get into trouble when I'm by myself. But and then I took a shower that was so hot, and I basically showered until it went cold. And I was like, and then I slept really well after that. Imagine that. But so yeah, I think this dish is interesting because I don't eat beans realistically unless they're refried. Which is a thing for me that is, they're good for fiber, which is why you should have them, so. Oh, okay, yes, please do that. But we're, the world's on fire. It's up to people like us to keep each other safe and sane and checking in like Annie is doing and all of these things. That's the decent thing to do, so. Now more than ever, our catchphrase really matters, right? So I'm just getting tired of it, but this is not what you're here for. So, what was the name of that place? I was trying to remember it, Denise, in Aruba that we went and had lunch at. That was Coco.
I have a picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But this local place that we took a trolley. It did not go very far. It went basically around this from where the cruise ship dumps off people. There's a touristy trap place there with a bunch of shops with, stuff for Aruba. And then we got on the tram and went through there. So, yeah.
It's just cocoa.
Well,
Coco Loco?
Coco, something like that.
Yeah, it's just cocoa.
I don't know if it does, but we got off the cruise boat there. Oh, it says something in the middle, and I can't remember, but I don't remember. I'll remember. Amy will remember, and I can post it. But
Yeah, I think she got a front picture of it.
I might have taken one too. I can't remember, but the food was excellent. We had a smattering of local things that were really good.
There's the trolley.
Yeah, we had really fun. They had this like turnover pasty thing that was like the dough in it, and it was like chickeny. I think it was a chicken filling.
Yeah.
It was delightful. It was so good.
And then, of course, Doug started talking to the lady, and she brought us out it's what they use as their bread, and it's like this cornmeal pancake.
Thing.
It was so good.
It was like, yeah, it was like a cross between like cornbread and a pancake. And it was because basically make a batter and then they pour it onto the griddle and they grill up like a pancake. It was slightly sweet, like it was really dense but also soft. It was an enigma of how it was, but it was
I could
really
see
good.
dipping it into like a good stew or braised meat of some sort.
But what was funny, everyone, is that I was trying to communicate with the gal, and she spoke English fairly well, but I was trying to find out what kind of fat that they used in the turnover pastry. And I said, is it butter? And she kind of looks at me funny. I mean, it's Aruba. They're on an island. There's no cows on the island. Or if there are, there's not enough.
We have no butter. And
Yeah.
she brought us out a tub of, I can't believe it's not
Yeah,
butter
that's
for
what
our little pancakes.
that was what she brought out, which I thought was hilarious. But so like, I think to myself, I got to remember that like in a situation like this, like if they're on an island, they don't have a bunch of cows. They're not. I mean, to import butter would probably be really expensive. So
I mean, it's a Dutch island, but this lady was native.
yeah. So it was good. Like I said, we didn't eat at too many places off the boat. I think that was really the only one we ate at,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
We went to Grand Cayman, which we'd been to before. We did a little.
Which he gave us little pasties on the
That's right.
boat, too.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They were pretty good too. They were, again, the dough wasn't as good, but they were still pretty good. So, okay, let's get this show on the road here. Olive oil. I'm just gonna, whatever's left in the bottle. Oh, Amy got the organizers and got them out, so that it looks very nice back here.
Those worked very well.
Yeah, they do, and they look better than the crazy mess that we normally have. So, I'm gonna get this started on medium, which, with this thing it could be medium or super high. But it comes together. So really, there's prep time, 10 minutes, cook time, 15. So we're gonna, while this is sort of warming up, we're gonna get a little bowl, or little-ish. And we're gonna soften some butter. 2 tablespoons, which that's more than 2 tablespoons. That's about probably even 4, so. What else has been going on? I haven't really watched anything on the TV. There's too much to catch up on. What's new out there? Oh, but yeah, so back to the... Oh, I haven't put it in yet. But good catch, because last time I had bread in there, I left it in for too long.
I totally forgot about that. I'm still on the cruise.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're coming up on 5 years, and so like I want to do things that sort of are leading up to the 5-year anniversary of where we revisit and kind of do a remix of a fan favorite. So if you have things that you want, like you'd like to see us redo, not redo it, but like add something different or take a different protein or do a different style of something, we'd totally love to hear about that. What else we got going on here? It's kind of crazy that, like I said, 5 years. We're going to do probably a cocktail episode that's basically just sort of meet, talk and drink as we're doing stuff. But so take my aromatics, get them in here, and get them started. Now this is interesting that we're using red onion for this. Typically you would use that in a more fresh, but I think I've used it. I had something I made and I didn't have enough onion, regular or white onion, so. Okay. And then I need, so this is 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. The two are going to just complement each other, and they're going to make a nice. Yeah, Davey, what the hell? It's old enough for kindergarten is a statement that I didn't think I would think about until you just said it. But that is 100% a correct thing. It's insane to think about. I mean, especially for a bunch of jackasses doing our business up here and barely knowing after 5 years what we're doing. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
okay. But I still find, like, it's interesting. We were talking, like, or I don't know. I think Amy and I were talking about just how odd. It's like, oh, here we are. We're just doing our thing. I was telling somebody on the ship about, like, they're like, oh, what kind of things do you do? I'm like, oh, well, you know, mostly I do this, this, and this, but I also have my own, we have our own cooking show. And
Happy birthday, little DP.
oh, stop it. There's no way that's a possibility. That would mean, oh, no, little. 17 doesn't seem little. Oh, 7. Okay. 17. Oh, yeah. That's, what is happening? Yeah, me too. I'm on week 11 of my aligners, and my teeth are changing every time I take them out. The gap is getting smaller. Not as fast as I would like it to, but it is. So, and I'm going to take another, well, I'm going to turn this down. I need 2 more cloves of garlic. It's garlic bread. You need to have a little garlic in there, right? Yeah, it's just been weird. I had to clean the carpets this week.
Oh, yeah.
They were
Dogs.
stink fest because Denise's 2 were over here, Gus and Woody, and it was just spring and dogs outside, and, you know, accidents happen and this and that. So, you know, I spent basically off the plane, back here, and then I spent the rest of the day cleaning carpets. I was tired by the end of the day. And then so we haven't really made anything food-wise all week because it's been a weird week for Amy being gone at this conference, and we like keep them busy. So I wanted to bake bread on Tuesday like I normally would, but that didn't happen. But I did make, and I'm going to show you before the end here. Last night at 10:30, 11, I started a like a 14-pound pork roast, or pork shoulder, aka the pork butt, on the smoker, and let it go till about 2 p.m. today. And it's been sitting in the coolers, like wrapped, keeping warm since then. And when I take it out and we unwrap it, it's going to fall asleep. Oh. I also want to do more fermentation stuff, I think. I would like to make sauerkraut, but see, the part of this is that if we do any of that fermentation, it's going to have to be like delayed gratification. Like, as in, we're going to have to do the sauerkraut, and then the next episode, something to go with the sauerkraut that has been fermenting for a week. So, you know, keep that in mind. Sorry. I'm like, today's been a weird day in terms of, like, I got up way earlier than I normally would on a Saturday because, you know, Amy would be here and let the dogs out, but since she's not, I did, and then I forgot, oh wait, you put a pork shoulder on last night, so you have to deal with that. I actually could do that. I do have a GoPro that I could time lapse it and then post that time lapse of the bubbles. If I had, if I knew anything about video editing, I could just, you know, make a video about it, but I don't know anything about that, so. Okay, I'm gonna throw this in here. It seems like a lot, but it isn't. Now this says you could have minced that, you could have grated that too, to help it. But I want when it goes on the bread to have, I want it to have that chunk to it, so good garlicky taste. Okay. So now that those are cooked, basically, in here we're gonna add this garlic. I don't want it to burn. So that's why I'm kind of got the heat on low. Because realistically, all I'm really doing is softening these up. The beans are cooked. So once I add them in here, it's sort of just getting to a point where I'm dressing them in here. And then I'll take it off the heat. But that's why we're kind of going a little bit on a slow side, because it's like a lot going on. So I'm going to reach into the middle, which is what a psychopath would do, but that's what I'm doing.
Weirdo.
So I don't know if you can see this. So I mixed that softened butter in the olive oil until it emulsified with our friend Tiny Whisk. And so, yeah, you get a better spread. And the best part about this too is you're going to get a really nice, like, you're going to get that buttery, like, but you're also going to get a nice, like full flavor that the olive oil brings. It is probably, if I was going to do this, I may add a little bit more butter, but you don't really need to. It's a little looser than you might, so. And then you just, you know, spread this on. And we'll add it to a little sheet and let it go. I'm not going to put this on super heavy. The point is, this is kind of not like the garlic bread we've ever made before. It's garlic bread in the sense that it's bread with garlic butter and a hint of it. So if you wanted to, you could get fancy and add, you know, Parmesan or Pecorino Romano or something like that, or Ray Romano. No, not Ray Romano.
That would be silly.
That would be silly. I gotta figure out, how to make it my own shirts. There's an additional thing I could buy for the laser cutter that it's like a screen printing thing.
Isn't Jesse a screen printer?
Maybe. I don't know. Is that which Jesse? Sierra's Jesse?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Does
think
it?
that's what he went. Part of his degree was in screen printing.
Huh. Oh, I guess I should find out.
Yeah, I think you should.
Because if that's the case, maybe Jesse and I could be making T-shirts. Because I would really like to make a series of Tiny Whisk shirts, which I think would be hilarious. So while this is going to go in, I'm going to add at the end. I probably will add in a little of the chopped parsley to go on top. About 8 to 10 minutes for these. I'm going to go right to the middle. We'll set it to 10 and just call it good while we finish this up. While this is doing its thing over here, I'm going to make a cocktail. Denise will not be having a cocktail.
I had enough. I think I had my year's quota.
I was going to say,
the trip.
for somebody who doesn't drink very much normally, Denise, I'm saying, she always had a cocktail in her hand when I saw her, so.
Yeah, rum got the best of me a couple times.
Oh my God. Well, so Denise and I also, they have a casino on the boat. And I thought I was being sneaky, and then I would find Denise wandering around the casino as well after, everybody else went to bed. Hi, May. Oh, hey. John, Elaine, hello. Welcome together. Hopefully you're having a good night. We're having a pretty good night. Yeah, so we made a ton of cool stuff. Amy has used the engraver for Well, I haven't seen you in a bit, but she's been doing these little diorama scenes, and she's been designing furniture and like cabinetry and all kinds of stuff in the laser engraver, and then cutting it out and assembling it herself. So like, she amazes me when she does that shit. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. So we made ranch water before on the show. It's West Texas in origin. Again, this is not going to be as tart or as sour like the lemon or with lime, but I have lemon juice, and that's what we're making it with. So we're starting with tequila, and I believe 2 ounces. Yes, so it's like, imagine scenes that are like, I don't know, a Christmas scene or a cozy cabin with like an armchair. The one that I think here, and I'm going to show you on my phone, that is amazing, is that so if you know anything about us, we love the Venture Brothers, that show. And my friend James, he just turned 40. And James worked for me a million years ago, and he is just an amazing human being, and I love him to death. But for his 40th birthday, I wanted to do something special because many years ago, he got me a piece of original artwork that was like a piece of storyboard from the show. An amazing gift. So what I wanted to do is that Amy made, and we came up with, this is a scale replica of the Dean and Hank Venture's bedroom inside the Venture compound, and there's Helper the robot and all of that kind of stuff. And so like the bed and like a lot of the other stuff she made with the engraver software, and then made it. And then I 3D printed a lot of the robot, and there's like a clown lamp in the back and all that stuff we did together. But she found all of the posters that go with, like in the show itself, that are everything is like it's so accurate to everything. So like, it was like a one of a kind of a gift type of a deal that we wanted to do, and it's a shared, like, it's one of those things, like it's a shared thing that we like have shared with James for a long time, of like this weird sort of niche cartoon that was on Adult Swim, but only a certain subset of people ever watched it, or if they did watch it, only they got it. So, did I put tequila in here?
No, let's see what happens.
Did I? No, it did. I really thought I put tequila in there. Didn't I pour tequila in here? Apparently not. Okay, well, 2 ounces of this. Yeah, I don't think I did. Uh-oh. Turns out it exploded over there. Oh. Well, it's funny because I've been a Prusa printer guy. That was the first one Amy and her mom bought me as a present. And then I bought the newer version last fall, I think. And then I upgraded the older one to the new version because the nice part about them is that they have, there might be 3 shots of tequila in here the way I'm looking at it, but oh well. And then, so I'm just going to do a full ounce of lime juice to offset this. I'm going to do, it doesn't call for it, but I'm going to do a little simple syrup because I like mine a little bit. So I'm doing a ½ ounce of that. And then we'll top it with Topo Chico when we're done. It exploded is, I'm considering how that might have happened. I guess it depends on the type of 3D printer it is. Is it like a FDM with the plastic filament, or is it like a resin printer, or is it an industrial printer, or
and
so? Oof. You know, I haven't had the lime. I just like drinking. I don't know if it's because it's mineral water or what, but I just like Topo Chico.
I do too.
Oh, okay. Let's give it a little. That's good. I can smell the garlic in the oven on the toast. Yeah, that's delightful. I think there is extra tequila in it, but whatever. We offset it. Okay, so now let's get this moving. Sorry. Once we've done that, saute it a minute, just garlic 30 seconds. Right, okay, so now, like I said, this is just cans, 2 cans, 15 ounces of dried white beans. Like I said, these are cannelli beans. You could add Great Northern Whites or whatever. If you've ever opened up beans like that, you'll note they are in this like kind of viscous liquid. You could save that liquid if you really wanted to, and you could use it as a vegan-friendly kind of like egg white replacement. It's got a name, but I can't think of it, and it's a weird name. It's like it's like a name. It's something that you're like, I don't know if I want to have that, but it is. It's really good for, again. It's weird how the world provides all the things that you could get from like proteins that you can get actually from plants
Yes,
too.
bean snot. I believe that is the term.
Hold on, let me double check. I think you're right.
It was just in one of the drinks I had on the ship.
What?
Yeah, they added all kinds of stuff for.
That's true they probably for froth.
Yeah.
Bean snot. I'm not sure it's that, but I mean, for now we'll just call it bean snot. So the whole point we're not really doing with this is that it's not about getting
Aquafaba. I had to use my other brain.
So I've got lemon juice here and zest. So I'm gonna take. I kept this because I've noticed if you squeeze this and then try and get the zest off it, doesn't work very well. I never know where anything is in my own kitchen, everyone.
Olga.
So I need about a teaspoon of lemon zest. And then probably the remainder of the juice that's in here that we'll take. I'm trying to think. They only had limited, so the internet we had was not the premium internet, which, okay, there's a funny story about that though. So one day on the ship, they were doing like this kind of crazy scavenger hunt type of a thing. It really wasn't even a scavenger hunt. You look for these little shamrock like cards or stickers or whatever out there in the world of the ship, and you go into a shop and say, oh, I found 5, and they give you 5 tickets, okay? And it's like a little raffle thing or whatever. These probably have to go a little blunt, I'm guessing. Let's take a look on the bottom. No, that looks good there, but I'm gonna throw them under the broiler just for like, with the shelf down couple. I'm gonna do it on low. I just want to crisp the top up slightly because I want like almost a toast point crunchiness to it. So anyways, I hustled my ass around the ship looking for different things, and they were like, one of the shop ladies was like, you found like 2 that nobody's found yet. And then, so part of my superpowers is that I'm really good at pattern recognition. and which is why I think, you know, it's just a thing. But I end up like confining things. That's why I think I'm really good at puzzles and word searches and things like that throughout my life, is because, well, those are just patterns to be looking for. So, and I did a ton of word searches when I was a kid, and like, they weren't any competitions that I was aware of at the time, but I probably could be really good at it if I did. Anyways, I found a bunch, and then when we were in there, Denise rolls by and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, this is a thing." And then she's like, "How many are in here?" And I was like, "There's like 6 or." She's like, "I see 3." So she gets 3 tickets. And so they had this too tiny of a box of these things, right? And they didn't stir it up. So literally Denise, being one of the last people to put her name in, like wins a prize of like body rubs,
face scrubs, and
but they're like they're like the containers that spa uses, because it was like from the spa.
yeah, one was leaking. It was
Yeah, the
like
bag-
a last
yeah,
minute. Yeah,
yeah.
let's throw this junk in this bag.
It was
and give away.
crazy. And then there's like the photo, and I'm just trying to get that 2 seeds I saw going here. The photo and like internet help place, and they gave 24 hours of premium internet. So of course that's what I won, which is hilarious to me that I won that. So the lemon juice is going to brighten this up, but the other thing, I'm going to add Dijon mustard. What makes it so life changing?
The ease of it.
Probably. I know. That's about, well, it's a little bit more than a teaspoon, but it's fine. And then a little salt and pepper. Oh, this is our backup of the pepper grinder, because our pepper grinder, Lily got up on the counter while the house sitter was here and knocked in one on the ground. And then that is the time that she put the dogs outside, and the dogs then got into this big kerfuffle with each other, even though they never do that. And so I had to find this today, and I was like texting Amy, do you happen to know where you might have put in the thing? And she just sends me a GIF of a gal with a bunch of like, she's like this. And then I said, oh, I found it. It was behind the water bottles that she uses to fill up the Keurig. And then it was just a GIF of a woman with a bunch of math problems flying around her head, like, why would it be there? And anyways, fun stuff. So I'm just going to mix this in. It's going to just kind of build up and build a little kind of a sauce. I'm also, once I get this integrated, I'm going to add in the pepper and the rice wine vinegar, and it's gonna help with that Dijon. Not help with it, but you know what I mean. You don't need very much. Q-tips in the freezer. Huh.
That sounds refreshing.
I don't know. You know, they tell you not to put those in your ear, and then frozen ones in the ear might be really deadly. All right, so again, I'm just kind of, and then what we'll do is we'll transfer out of here into the bowl. I'll chop that while this is sitting here kind of.
Smells good.
It smells really good. And when we add in the fresh herbs, it's really gonna pump it up. So we need like, I don't know, it says like a 1/4 cup of parsley. We'll do this, and whatever's left over, we'll add on the top of that bread. Speaking of which, perfect. Oh yeah, look at that.
Perfect.
That's what I was looking for. He can live back there. Yeah, get the. Oh, why am I only seeing? Oh, that's why. Weird. Okay. Now, this is, should have just called this episode a Pantry Power Up, to be perfectly honest. And I haven't used enough of that. But pantry, like, is the thing where I think we're going to do more of those, where you just take something that's in your pantry, add a bunch of flair to it, and, you know, take regular stovetop stuffing or something like that and jazz it up. So if you've got ideas for that, let me know. All right, so this is probably a little bit more than a quarter of a cup, but that's fine. Perfect. Actually, let's go in here. It's all good. The residual heat that we have, and we've had it on low, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. The other thing too is you could eat this warm like this, but if you really wanted to, you could eat it cold. It's not going to hurt it in any way. Matter of fact, it probably would like. And then just like, I'm going to use this dill. I use it for a lot of things, so I've got too much, more than I need, but I like it like this instead of like the little things that comes in the plastic containers, because it just seems so wasteful. And that's not good normally. Okay. Perfect. Like a teaspoon. Yeah, I should make some pickles. I have a bunch of strawberries, but that is beside the point with the dill. But I'm just stating that as a statement of fact. I think that this probably, just to be perfectly honest with you, this would be better if you had the beans not out of a can, I think. I think these are they're already cooked.
Soft.
They're too soft.
Were they mushing on you?
They did mush, but I think it's going to be fine.
That tastes good.
Yes. So just take a little bit of your bread. And the thing too is this is really crispy, which is going to be good. And did you see what I was doing with my fingers?
You know, and I was totally fine with it.
Yeah.
I was like,
So I'm just going to kind of throw it on top, almost like a crostini, but like, well, what I'm actually going to do is do this move, but. Try that. It is true, Ping. It is going on toast. So. It really does. Okay, hold on. I gotta take my clackers out so I can eat. Dumped your toast. I'm sure that was great for the crowd, everybody. Me taking my teeth out, but
I got close up.
yeah. That's pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's take a look at this pork. This is bonus content, everybody. Now you're thinking, Doug, what the hell? You've got a cooler. That's not pork. Yes, my friends, it is. Let me clean this up. Boink. I just added all that in there. What are we actually doing here? So, like I said, this is basically been prepping for 18, 20 hours or something like that. So when I take this out of here, I don't know what the structure of it is going to look like, but you can see there's a ton of moisture that is come out of it through the towel and been in a humid environment. It's still warm to the touch. Matter of fact, it's hot on the bottom. Oh, like hot. Not hot, but it's hot enough that, let me put it this way,
You don't want to hold it.
not without the towel as an insulator. Now, the reason that you do this when you're cooking like barbecue like this is it helps all the juices like stay where they're supposed to. And then this is why you need asbestos fingers.
Hey, dude.
Yeah. Like bonus content, everybody.
One night, Amy, Doug, and I just went after one of these, like a pack of animals.
Yes.
No silverware, just bread and fingers.
Okay, now I want to reiterate to you all. This came off of the smoker at 2:30 p.m. Okay? That is crazy talk. That looks like some sort of bone. Okay, ready? You guys ready? You guys here. That is a clean bone. Oh. So if I could try and cut this up, but I don't think you're going to need to do that. I'm going to show you what's going to happen here. So I should be able to just
Meat sweats tonight.
yeah, this is incredible. Oh my God. It's ever as hot as it ever. Oh my God, it is so hot.
That you can see the steam coming off every piece.
The thing that's crazy about this is it's still this hot, wrapped and it sat for that long. Okay. Yes, this is happening, everyone.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
This is happening. This move right here. Oh, that's really good. Oh my God, that is so good. But there's no shredding it. It's just doing it. Like, that is what I'm looking for. Okay. One last bout of that deliciousness. Out of the kitchen, please. Go, Jack. I don't know what else is to say. I mean, culinarily, this is a good side. It pairs well with a little bit of pork on top of it. I would maybe add, I don't know, maybe instead of the rice wine vinegar, I think either white wine vinegar or I would do apple cider for this in the future.
I think it could even stand up to a red wine vinegar.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what else to say. Except one. I mean, we're back. We do have one weekend where we're going to be out of town on the coast for the thing where I don't know.
Amy and I will be out and
Yeah, I'm going to try and recruit Landon to come and help me.
6th, I think it
Yeah.
is.
But I mean, listen, we love you. Thanks for coming in today. I'm gonna figure out what we're gonna do with this amount of meat here.
There's glue to help with it.
Listen, I could sit here and eat this, but I mean, come on, look at this. This is so tender. I'm gonna put this. So it was just regular kind of seasoning, but I then put I put pog juice and apple cider vinegar in it, and braised it, and then let it sit. So it's kind of funky, kind of not a funky flavor, but more sweet. It's real good. Listen, I'm sorry that you live 3 hours away on the other side of the country from us. You're welcome to the guest room anytime. You can come by yourself. You can bring Mr. DP, and you can bring the child. I have an extra room for that too. So, you guys can come and visit if you like. We could do live side dish with all my miscreant fans, and that's all we'll.
And all the meats.
And all of the meats. We'll do pizza. We'll do meats. I'm gonna eat all of this until I'm so fat. But we'll be here next week. I think it's either we're gonna do a remix or cocktails. What I want is I'm gonna do a medley of fan favorites, probably for the episode before the 5th anniversary show. And then we'll figure out what the 5th anniversary show is gonna be. Probably more like a hangout, and maybe I'll make a dessert of some sort of since it's gonna be in May, it'll be warm. Maybe I could, be coming up on Remy's birthday. I have to come up with another cake. Anyways, until then, we'll see you next week. And remember that we love you, and to be kind, be loyal, give grace where you can, and do something nice for somebody next week. The world needs it, and we love you very much, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.